Island in the sun, island in the sun. Good afternoon, that's where I would like to be now. But have to be flexible. Well, good afternoon and welcome to the Faith Gallery Vision Center. I have something special for the women out there. It is Women's History Month. And let's get beyond the platitudes and the talk. Let's talk about making money. Yeah. That's what we should be talking about. And we're sitting on those God-given talents. But I'm going to wake you up today to get off the seat and put those talents to work. The theme today is women who tell our stories. That is the theme for Women's History Month. And you know me very well. It is not a day, it is not a month or a week, it is 365. So Women's History Month 365. And I am very delighted to come on to share. I'm not a selfish person. I like to share what I have. Because, when you share, it comes back. It comes back threefold, tenfold, whatever. You are listening now to a businesswoman of 3 decades. My business was licensed on the 8th of August, 1993. And if my math is correct, that makes it 30 years since I've been in business. So I do have a lot of clout to talk about business. And the sub-theme is how to transform a hobby into a business, because my art was first a hobby. I did not have any intention to be a businesswoman having a gallery. No, that was not in the equation. I started out as a teacher. Actually, at age, let's go a little way back. At age 7, I found the love of the nature and the environment, started drawing. So my art really started in early childhood, age 7. And also at that very early age, when we played school, and the bigger siblings would ask, and what do you want to be when you grow up? Sure enough, I said I wanted to be a teacher, and I wanted to be an artist, and I became both. I am not in the classroom now, but I'm a lifelong educator. You never retire. As an educator, I retired in 2011, but I'm still teaching. I go out into the community, I teach, and I'm a public speaker, so I'm out there still bringing education to people. And thank you very much for joining this afternoon. I did tag some women who I know have talents, and probably they could learn how to convert those talents into a business reality. So you have a job. Let's take those who are not retired yet. They're making probably good money too. Okay? Or you're retired and you have talents and you're just sitting around on those talents. I want you to turn those talents into a business. So, let me go back to how my art became a business. I worked in the corporate in America for 12 years. I was a banker, all the way up to the level of a compliance officer. It did take me 11 of 12 years to become an officer or manager, but I made it fair. So I started out when I moved here. I was already a teacher, had my teacher's diploma from the Michael Teachers College, the Michael, where our motto is, do it with thy might. That's the motto for my alum, Michael Teachers College. It's now a university. And then I attended the University of the West Indies Mona campus, and I was smart enough to do a general studies course, which allowed me to take courses in history, sociology, anthropology, politics, economics. Yes, so that made me well-rounded. Have all those under my belt. So when I moved here first, yes, naturally, since I was a teacher and I came with the credentials, I started teaching. I taught in a Catholic school, a 4th grade class, and I taught for a year. And then someone encouraged me to go into banking because, you know, the pay was so low in the school. They said, if you want to make some money, this is a banking mecca. So I took the advice and I went into banking. And it wasn't the best years of my life because I suffered utter discrimination. But like Maya Angelou, and still I rise. Oh yeah. I didn't allow them to, you know, take away my dignity. We had a song, they can't take away my dignity. Oh yeah, so I left corporate America. I went back to college. I did a master's degree at Springfield College School of Human Services, graduated magna cum laude. Oh yeah, I'm gonna toot my horn. Yes. And then I was an adjunct professor at Springfield College for a while. And then I worked at Elwyn Institute for a while. And my last and best job was at the Job Corps, the Wilmington Job Corps Center. Not the best pay, but it was the most rewarding job where we had those youth coming in with a label. They came in with a label of a stereotype, youth at risk. But one of my national directors of Job Corps said, we will not treat them as youth at risk. They are youth at promise. And that's right up my alley. She spoke my language, and I was a career preparation specialist, grooming those youth, the ones that they labeled at risk. I made them youth at promise. And I see them all around the city, those who graduated and are in the city, they're in great jobs. Called an office once in the city and requested to speak with the supervisor. Turns out the supervisor was one of my past Job Corps students. So enough for my background. Let's talk about business now. So while I was in corporate America and stressed out, instead of taking the stress out on my family, I would go home, put on my music, my Bob Marley music. Now woman, not cry, get up, stand up. And I played all those music and I would paint. So I started painting and it was a hobby. And then in '92, I was asked, I was a volunteer at the YMCA, and I must credit the YMCA. The Waller Street YMCA was the renaissance of my art. I had stopped painting for 8 years. And then in '92, I was asked to be a team captain to raise money. I didn't take on too kindly to that. And I said to the chairperson for the fundraiser, I said, where I'm from, we give, but we don't beg. I don't know how to beg. So she prodded me. I said, let me pray about it. If I have a vision, I will raise the money. And yes, I had a vision. I picked up my brushes, canvas paint, started painting again. I did 17 pieces in 2 months, donated them for an auction, fundraiser for the Y. '92, we raised $2,000. That was big money at the time. And out of that charity came a commission. I was asked to create the cover of a magazine, the most popular magazine in the state of Delaware. Out and About magazine asked me to create the design for the cover in '93, in May of '93. I created the YMCA. How could I not do that? That magazine went viral, if you can use the word viral at the time, it didn't exist. All around the state, I was getting calls all over. People wanted to see my art. So I started showing my art all around the state. I became a speaker through the Delaware Humanities, traveling the state, explaining what is folk art and culture. And that it was still a hobby. And throughout my career in the banking industry, I used it to relieve stress. So I said, okay, when I retire, all this art will be my nest egg. Oh, well, look, it's been 30 years of nest egg. A lot of eggs. You know, they need to be hatched. Okay, I have 30 years of my art work here in the gallery and at other locations because I loan my work out. Okay, so that business started thanks to Florence Collins Hardy, who saw the magazine with my art at a function event, and she came up and she said, "Who's managing your business?" I said, "What business are we talking about?" She said, "Girl, with this magazine cover, you are going to go places." Haven't I gone places? And yes, she said, if you sell art and you take people's checks, you know you have to pay the IRS. I said, what are we talking about? She said, yes, you have to pay the IRS. I said, oh, but she said, if you have a license, you can write off your expenses and you don't owe Uncle Sam any money. So she said, let me take out a business license for you. She sat me down, explained it. She went to the Carmel State Building. She took out a license, Lafayette Gallery, sole proprietorship. It was licensed then. It is now LLC. I've grown. When I opened the storefront 8 years ago, I converted that sole proprietorship or made it an LLC, limited liability company. So what that means, the difference is that if you're a sole proprietor and anything goes wrong, you could be drawn through the laws. But if you are an LLC, they go after your business, not you personally. Okay, let's learn that. So one of the tips, first tip number 1, if you intend to be a business, you should be licensed to do business. Here in the city of Wilmington, Delaware, I pay a city license, and I pay a state license, and my LLC license, which is pretty expensive, is coming up in June. All of that I have to pay. So, but it's worth it because all the expenses that I incurred, and it's a lot, I write them off. Okay. Oh, I love my island music. I love my island music. Everybody who knows me knows my music. Oh, well, let's get back to business. Let's get back to business. My 12 steps. I have a 12-step proposal here, or actually how to transform a hobby into a business. I will give you some today. I'm not able to cover it all in this video. But again, it is Women's History Month, and I want to share. I know there are many women out there who can knit. They have talent. You can do various things. Get off your talent. Get off your couch or whatever. Turn those talents into a business. And if you're retired, you know, there is studies that show if you're retired and you sit around and don't do anything, you're more likely to get dementia, Alzheimer's. It's a serious thing. But if you're engaged, if you keep that brain active, you are less likely to end up with dementia and Alzheimer's. These are proven facts. So if you're sitting on your talent, get up. Turn the talent into money. Make money. If you can sing, that's a talent. You can speak. You go out and speak. You sing. You can dance. Whatever. You can knit. You can cook. All of those. So, step number 1, discover the hidden talent, or we call it the latent talent, the talent you don't even know you have. Discover it, and I teach a class how to discover your talent, how to discover the artist in you, because everyone is an artist. Okay, moving right along. Develop a passion for your discovered talent. You can't be wishy-washy. Where I'm from, they would use the term, you can't be wishy-washy. You have to be resolute and say, I'm going to do this. So develop a passion for your discovered talent. Identify your product, and don't go around having 3-4 different products. Narrow it down. Find the product that you want to turn for your business. Oh yes. Make time to produce and build a strong inventory of your product. Make time. You hear people say, I can't find time. Well, you will never find time. You can make time. There are 24 hours in the day, but within those 24 hours, you can make time to do anything you want to do. So time is not something you're going to find. Can't find the time. Make time. Okay. Next step. Expose your product to the widest sector of the community. The church? Yes, you're in the church. Get your church members to buy whatever you are to participate in your business. It takes a village to grow a business. Okay. So expose it to the widest sector of your community. Like the church, the community affairs, donate, charity. I'm going to spend a little time on charity because Lafayette Gallery today came about, and I mentioned it before, in 92, when I created those 17 paintings, donated them to the Wi-Fi for a fundraiser. Don't be mean with your talent. Donate. Yes, be charitable. Charity pays. It's my charity that brings me to this level of my business today. Okay, well, my music is scratching up there. Okay. Next. Obtain, I said this up front. I did put it later in the list. Obtain a business license. Be licensed. If you're going to sell products or sell and take people, and the Cash App and the whatever, even the IRS, they're tracking Cash App. I don't take Cash App. I don't believe in Cash App. I don't use it. It's too dangerous. This either the PayPal. You can PayPal or pay by check or pay by cash, but no Cash App for me. So yes, obtain a business license if you plan to market your product. Obtain a merchant account. Yes, with it, because the money that you make from your business should not be with your personal money. So you have your personal saving account, you have your business account. I have my business account with my bank, yes. And whenever I make sales, those go right into the business. And if it's by check or by cash or by the credit card machine, it goes right into the business. Because when they come to audit you, and I think I heard that this year they're going to be doing more audit. So don't play games with the IRS. Okay, what else? It's a lot. I'm going to have to do this in another segment, but it's a teaser today. If you're just joining me, welcome. Welcome to the Art of Business, how to transform a hobby into a business. And you're listening to someone who has 3 decades of experience. Yes, under my belt. 3 decades I've been in business, was licensed in 1993. That makes 30 years. This is one of the greatest advice that I should be giving. Do not be too quick to go rent storefront. Take it from me. For 22 years of my business, it was home-based. I didn't have people come in my home, not at all. I would take my merchandise, take my art and other products from my art, go to events. Those were the golden days because I didn't have any overhead. So don't be too quick to open storefront. It could put you in a DEBT, debt trap. It's a debt trap. Okay. And you don't want to have to be using your retirement funds to be subsidizing the business. You know, that's what's happening here. But I'm working my business plan to get out of that. Okay. Yeah, we talk about that. The merchant license, yes, merchant account rather. The license, city, state. Well, you probably want, if you're just starting, you don't need the state license. I did not need both until I moved into the commercial storefront. Okay. Then, very, very important, develop a professional brochure. You can't just go out there and have, you know, slapdash. You have to have something very professional. When you go to the booth, you have to have your name tag. And you have to have your professional brochures, your business card, your catalog. This is my catalog of selected works, and this catalog has the works in it. And then I developed another catalog which has the stories behind my paintings, because a lot of people who purchase my work, they purchase them because of the stories. Every piece of my work has a story, and people love to hear the stories behind that. What next? As I said, I cannot give you everything in one segment. Website. Oh yeah, it's the age of technology. You need a professional website. Yeah, and you need to use social media. I think I heard, I don't know if it's false or what, that soon we'll be paying for what I'm doing here. We'll be paying Facebook. I don't know how true that is. But while it's free, use social media for your business. Get on all the platforms. LinkedIn. Yes, LinkedIn is the place for business people. That's where all the business people congregate on that platform. Then there is Instagram. There is the Facebook. There are others out there. You want to be out there, to put your business out there. And YouTube, yes, go on. Well, YouTube wants you to have 1,500 subscribers before you can cut a video on YouTube. You can cut your videos on Facebook and upload them to YouTube. Yeah, I have a YouTube, so I don't have 1,500 subscribers yet. And if you're listening out there, go subscribe to my YouTube page. Good afternoon if you're joining me. It's a great day for women. I am here sharing my tips of how to start and grow a business, the art of business, how to transform a hobby and make it a business. And the benefits of that, the fact that if you are retired and you use your brain a lot and do activities, you are less likely to develop dementia and Alzheimer's. So there is a health factor here. And it is documented out there. So I encourage you to find a hobby if you're retired. Some people love to say, oh, I want to retire. And they're retiring. And they retire and they sit down and, and become ill. A lot of people who retire, for whatever the reason, they don't enjoy their retirement. So you have to plan for that retirement. And one of the plans you could have is to start a business. When I retired, that's what I did. Start a business and start small. Okay, I have a business formula I want to share. Get a pen and paper ready to write this down. It works. It's called Business Success Formula. And I'm going to give you the formula and ask you to solve it. No, I want to give you the answer to. Solve the business formula. If you were here in the gallery, I would give you a prize if you win it. So the formula is HW plus D plus P equal S. Let's repeat. HW plus D plus P equal S. I developed that business formula when I formed my business. And this is copyrighted. Oh yeah, I have to say that. If you notice me recently, I've been splashing right across my art when I put them out there. I've been putting copyright with that little C in that circle. Why? Because in the past, I have evidence that people have downloaded my art and framed them and all that stuff. So I'm getting wiser every day. Okay, give up the formula again. HW plus D plus P equals S. That was the business formula I developed. And HW, hard work. D, diligence. Diligence. And there's a difference between being diligent and being determined. If you're determined, you could lose that determination. If you're diligent, it's every day, 24 hours. That's what diligence is. Diligence is all the time, never giving up. And P is for perseverance. You're going to bump into, when you have that business, you are going to come into some serious problems. And you're going to want to give up. But you shouldn't give up. And I'm going to give you a story from the pandemic in a moment. How I was on the verge of closing my business and I followed my determination and my perseverance and kept the door open. And the S is for success. So the formula is, and if you're just joining me, today I am talking about the art of business, and we are in Women's History Month, and I'm encouraging women to take on a savvy to start a business or continue your business, make it better. And if you're retired, take the talents you have and turn it into a business, and don't sit on the couch. Use that brain in retirement so you don't get Alzheimer's or dementia. Okay. Hard work plus diligence plus perseverance equals success. Yes. In 2019, that's a year before the pandemic, I faced a crisis with my business. Because, let's face it, people think art is a luxury. So even those who have the money, they're not even considering it. So, yes, I looked at my expense versus my income and determined I was at a crossroad. Should I keep that business open? And I sought advice. Thanks to Dwayne Sims. He was the manager for small business in the city. He's now the treasurer. He sat me down with my expense sheet. I went through it line by, and my expense sheet is about like 40 items. It's a lot. And we determined what we had to cut, etc. And he suggested my my lease was coming up. He suggested take the lease out for 6 months and watch how the business is and determine. And I followed the advice. Now that 6 month end would have landed me February 2020. Who remembers 2020? Remember what happened then? So I decided I'd rework my business plan. And I realized that I had to find residual income since the art wasn't selling. I had to find other ways, use my talents, my speaking talent. Like I'm giving you all these free tips now. I found that I could use my talent, teach classes, do other streams to bring the income in. Okay, so had I continued with the plan, that business would have closed in February of 2020. And I said, that would look very bad. A prominent black-owned business closing in Black History Month. That would be a black face for the city if I had done that. But I persevered. Then, in July, you know that we had that pandemic lockdown from March to June. And I stayed home, painted, and sang and rocked to the Three Little Birds. Don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing gonna be all right. That was my comfort then. And then in July of the pandemic, one man came in this gallery, one person, and purchased 3 of my largest original paintings for a good amount of money. Took me out the financial hole that I was in. Perseverance. But that was bittersweet because, you know, they had these COVID grants, etc. I'd been given a COVID grant. And then when I filed my expenses and sent it to the sources, and they reviewed it, that one sale, you know what they did? They took away my grant and made it a loan. And then they said, oh, you can pay it in 5 years. I said, I don't want to be entangled for 5 years. Could I want to do just a lump sum. When I decided to sacrifice and pay the lump sum, they added $1,000 in interest from the day the grant was approved until last August. And I yelled. I did go up the chain of command. And I called it economic injustice. That's what it was. To give me a grant, and because I made one sale, 1 month, one person take my grant and made it a loan? Oh, come on. Oh, yeah. So then, it is an interesting story, an intriguing story. And I go back to my formula. To succeed in business, you need to work hard. You need to be diligent. You need to persevere. And hard work plus diligence plus perseverance equals success. Enough for the inspiration. Let's go commercial. Because when you listen to the programs out there, it's not all inspiration and talk. They have to cut that and put the commercials in. Take a break for the commercials. So that's exactly what I'm doing now. I've been giving. Just gave away all my tips about how to transform a hobby into a business. Now, this business here at 227 North Market Street in Wilmington is open Tuesday through Saturday from 11 to 5. I extended the hour, and I may even go to 6 because we're getting more sunlight now, daylight. If you want to come in, make an appointment, call me at 302-656-6786. I host in this gallery workshops for people going through caregiving, those going through grief. I do paint classes or paint parties for every season, for every occasion. You can call me to book a paint party, or you can go online at www.lafayettegallery.com. So let's show off something else in this gallery. I want to show you this progress. That's a progress chart of where I started and where I am. Okay. So, and this can be. When I sold my first painting in 1992, I told you I'm in business for 30 years. That's what I sold it for. That's what it sold. And see, when I explained that art is more than beauty, that art appreciates, look at the appreciation. From 92, that was what I sold an original for, and up to 2020, that's what the originals are going for now. And more. That's the still bottom line. So art appreciates. Let's appreciate art. And let me show you my merchandise. So for those who cannot afford original paintings, there is always something for you. Okay. There we go. It is springtime, and you want to change the ambience of your home or your office. Beautiful daffodils, anthurium. Here's the three little birds. I paint that in 2020. Anything that was created in 2020, let me put the spotlight. It's a gold mine. You should grab it. Any work of art or anything, merchandise which was made in 2020. 2020 was the year of the pandemic. So, do you have anything with 2020 on it? Well, come to Lafayette Gallery and purchase. The originals are not for sale. NFS. I'm writing a book about the pandemic and how I coped. Here we have more art in the gallery. I also carry a collection here of aesthetic resin sculpture and jewelry. And these are made by famous designer Errol Miller in Florida. And Mother's Day is coming up. How about getting Mother one of these bracelets and these beautiful sculpture here. Some of them are for vases. They're here at the gallery. April will be jazz. And my theme is jazz into spring. So the jazz art and the floral art. Those of you who didn't know, I went to Ireland. Let's say that. I was in Ireland last Christmas with my family. We spent 8 days in Cork County. And I even have in my gallery some of the prints from my photographs that I took while I was in Ireland. Beautiful pieces here. This is the Blarney Castle with the lookout. Yes, this is the Dock Harbor, very fascinating place where we stayed. The house was on a hill overlooking the harbor, and this is the harbor at sunrise. More beautiful sceneries from Ireland. Yes, so we celebrated St. Paddy's Day, but Irish Heritage is also the month of March, and it's through the year too. Celebrate everything year round. Look at this beautiful tote bag here. And the mug. Yes, the mug showing the Blarney Castle, and I have a series of mugs here. Ladies, women balancing the world. Maya Angelou, I Rise. Women reaching for the stars. Come on and get something. And you can go online to get these merchandise at a website that customizes my art into these merchandise, and that is fineartamerica.com. Just type Eunice Lafayette in the search bar, and you'll find my work. Okay, I just want to wrap up with the exhibition, the Women's History Month exhibition That was open first Friday. There are 4 women featured, 3 and myself. This is Jo Redbird. That's her work. Beautiful acrylic work on wood. Look at that elegant piece. All of the beautiful pieces. This is the work of Irina Turner. She works in acrylic pouring on the canvas. She opened her gallery in Middletown last week. These are her pieces, and she sold one at the opening, and the gallery got a commission. And I really appreciated that. Look at that beautiful woman. And the next artist is Angela Williamson. She's a watercolorist. She loves watercolors, and that's her pieces right there. Beautiful pieces. These are coming down around the 26th of the month. So if you want to support these ladies with their art, come on down to 227 North Market Street. So I said it was 4 women, so that's 3, and these are my work. And my work takes on a lot of issues. The black trailblazers of the suffrage movement, the black woman behind the purple chair, the women vote, the women who marched in Washington. Mentoring the sisters, which is what I'm doing today. I am mentoring women, helping them to use their talents to start a business or just to get out of, the habit of just sitting around. If you're retired, do something.